Guys, when building your legacy, it's important for you to understand and know that you will be remembered somehow, somewhere along the line in business or in your personal life. And how do you want to be remembered? That is all your choice. That depends on how you see things. That depends on how your outcomes in business are and the people you deal with. But most importantly, the most important criteria which you need to be empowered with as a defense mechanism in your business is two things that worked for me or working for me in my later age. And that's a bit of humility and kindness. You see, those are two aspects in business which don't come across easily, or people don't come across easily with. Humility is something you develop as age takes its course on you, which comes with a bit of wisdom on how to deal with people, how to deal with relationships, and also how to know that your success is not measured only by money and what you own and how much you spend. That's the first thing. The second is kindness and generosity. Those go together. Kindness in a transaction is showing empathy to someone in a transaction or in your personal life. It's not something that people are easily able to do today because we're all caught up so much in wanting for ourselves, wanting for our balance sheets and income statements, that we forget there's another party at the table. It does cost nothing to leave something at the table for someone else so that a transaction can be meaningful to both parties. And then generosity. Generosity is the cardinal aspect to keeping a long-term relationship. It's when you don't need to leave something at the table, but you go ahead in any event and say, but you know what, 6% commission on the sale of my chrome is not good enough. 9% is better because we're brothers, we're friends, we're business partners. That taught me something. I was teaching my son this week, where we have a business partner who's a brother to me. And because we have a relationship and because we can afford to leave more at the table, we decided that that would be the order of the day. Why? Because it's not anyone you want to build a relationship, and you want to build a long-term relationship. So you've got to show how you're going to do that. And you've got to let that person or let that company know that you're going the extra mile generously so that you forge a long-term future with that company. But more importantly, a lot of people determine success, as I mentioned, with how much money you've made, how powerful you've become, how influential you've become. But you're not remembered only for that. You're remembered for other things, as I said, the humility with which you can operate, the ability to give someone a compliment on what they're doing right in a transaction, the ability to give someone a compliment anyway. It costs nothing. It really costs nothing to step into a room and have the aura of power around you because you have humility and you have empathy, and that you can sit down, look someone in the face and say, I like what you've done. You have an amazing business. Please, can I be a part of it? Please, can I contribute? Please, can we have a joint venture? All of those type of aspects. Once again, going to the cornerstone of relationships. So you want to be remembered for being backed severely as a mechanism to cope in a deal by having humility. The next thing, as I mentioned, and more important, and I keep on saying this, is generosity. Remember, before you do a deal with someone, you have zero. You have 100% of nothing with that person. Never forget that. For you to gain percentage of a joint venture, or for you to gain a percentage of that business trust or that individual's trust, you have to show a certain amount of generosity and a certain amount of partnership thinking, where there is fair exchange in a relationship. I always talk about fair exchange. Fair exchange is when I give something and you give me something back. And lots of people respect that. And why do people respect powerful individuals or successful, in inverted commas, people? It's because they themselves are not prepared to go out of their way to do what that person is doing. So they think to themselves, why would this man do this? Or why is this man being so generous? Why is this man giving us so much? And a lot of the times, it's a simple answer. It's because of a relationship. It's because you want to leave at the table something for the next guy. You want to leave at the table enough so that the next man says, geez, I want to do this deal. Or the next man looks back and says, but I would never do what Moti's doing, or I'd never do what this guy is doing. And then respect develops as a result thereof, because they can't do what you're doing. So they're forced to respect you. In any event, you always want to be in a position never to forget this final comment I'm going to make. And that is, every single time when you look at all the biggest businesses in the world today, from the Ambanis all the way down, and I was listening to his story about how he went at a young age to become a diamond dealer, or other particular top business people that have built magnanimous business or massive businesses. You find yourself in a position where somehow, somewhere, all of the millions and billions of people have thought one thing only: this can't be done. So this can't be done means what? It means that it's a challenge for you to find a solution to this cannot be done. It can be done. All of these big businesses, including Microsoft and all the other massive businesses in the world, they started off in someone's garage, like my own business. Started off at humble beginnings, nice thoughts, great ideas, and innovative ideas. But at that time, when they started the concept and ideology of their business, it was probably not well supported because it's new, innovative, and it hasn't been done. So because it hasn't been done, whatever it is doesn't mean it cannot be done. Forge yourself and empower yourself with the ability to know that you can make a change to simple and complicated things. You look at Tesla as an example. 10 years ago, no one bought and believed in that business as they are today. The concept of which is driven by the entrepreneur behind it, driven by the ideas, the unique ideas, the creative ideas, the different ideas that other people are not willing to think because it's outside of their space, it's outside of their safety zone. So what does that do to you? It creates fear. The moment you step outside of your safety zone, you are now consumed with fear. And the fear is the fear about getting it wrong, failing, losing something important to you. But at the same time, the upside is massive if you do not allow those fears to control your trajectory. So the bottom line is, please, in closing, don't think something cannot be done. Make sure that you look at the possibilities of making things that ordinarily seem impossible to become possible. And make sure you empower yourself with humility and generosity. Cheers.